Previously on the World Enduro Super Series. Historic Hawkstone Park lived up to its legendary name with another action-packed cross-country enduro. Britain's own Nathan Watson bested 2018 Hawkstone champion KTM teammate Joseph Garcia on day one. Both had a rocky start on day two, but local hero Watson made an amazing comeback, then dominated the race to take the podium. WESS leader Manuel Lettenbichler surprised everyone, including himself, with a second-place finish. Johnny Walker took third, bumping him to fourth on the overall WESS standings. Lettenbichler has now extended his WESS lead by 500 points, but it's still anyone's series as we head back to Spain for the brand new BR2 Enduro Solsona. Welcome to round 7 of WESS. Tucked away in the densely wooded mountains of northern Spain is the scenic town of Solsona. This is the birthplace of a brand new classic enduro, the BR2 Enduro Solsona. Pros and amateurs hunt for the fastest time through the 15 special tests over 2 days. A brutal battle against the clock. Manuel Lettenbichler is leading the series at the penultimate race of the season. He's still trailed by Graham Jarvis and Alfredo Gomez. Now Johnny Walker and Joseph Garcia are also closing in. Who will come out on top riding this unfamiliar terrain? Hundreds of riders from different classes take to the streets of Solsona to the delight of the fans on the opening day parade. They roll into the countryside for the day one super test. Like a blast from the past, the first riders to hit the motocross track are the vintage class. Bikes from the 70s and 80s are put to the test over 5 laps. From past bikes to present pros, the WESS riders take to the track.
So we're here at the super test. We will race like 10 riders on the track, which is really nice, and it's just a fun event more. For sure, the time counts for the overall, and it's only about 5 laps. We're gonna bang bars like proper hard. It's fun to race with them boys, so I think it's gonna be fun.
It's my home race. I feel really good to be here. Tonight we have to make a good job, good race, but everyone knows my style is go for God always, so I will give everything.
Riders set off in 5 groups of 7 to 9, each searching for the best time after 5 laps. In Group 2, Husqvarna hard enduro experts Graham Jarvis and Alfredo Gomez get bested by French classic enduro pro Christophe Nambotin. He battles with number 83 Bennett Subaroka, a telling start to the fast style of riding needed to succeed at BR2. The pace is set. Here are the Heat 2 results. Group 3 is stacked with WESS hard enduro heavy hitters Manuel Lettenbichler, Johnny Walker, and Tadej Blazusiak. They're going up against speedster Nathan Watson, who should do well at this race. But Johnny Walker gets the whole shot. With the rest of the Team Orange hot on his heels. He dominates the 5 laps with a top time. But Spanish speed demon Joseph Garcia has yet to ride.
I'm happy to win my heat, but there's other races to go, but I did the best I could. I put myself in the best position to get the best time that I could get.
As the final group launches in, Garcia starts off in third. It's difficult to pass on this dusty track. Teammates look on. Garcia comes in with a disappointing time. Late bloomer in the series, Johnny Walker has made a strong statement with the best result after the first special test. Will he continue his Solsona success over the next 2 days?
We're in Solsona for Bassella Race 2, round 7 of World Enduro Super Series.
So this weekend's a traditional enduro, back to the roots of a real classic enduro, and yeah, it should be good.
We are having in total 15 special tests. The time they do, it's individual, but they have to fight each other to get the fastest times.
You're on your own, you're not really racing anybody as such, it's all timed in the tests. You've got to wait till the finish before you know where you're lying, but it's all going to be intense stuff, it's going to be fast, and it's going to be close racing.
Friday we have only the super test, which is a motocross race where we go 10 people on the track and just pins it.
We start here in Solsona. The liaison to arrive to the tests is about 1 hour 40 minutes, and we have the 3 tests.
So we have an extreme test, which is really short and intense with a lot of obstacles, a lot of difficult sections. You can lose a lot of time if you make a mistake in this test. And then we have a cross test, which is like a faster test, a motocross style test. And then we have an enduro test in the woods, a little bit tighter, a little bit more technical, twisty.
So you do them twice, so that's 6 tests plus the motocross test at the end of the day.
The super test, at the end of the day, we have 5 laps and we start like motocross. The elbows are there, so it's really fun.
And in the end, we combine the times from the 3 days of racing, and the fastest man wins.
Here the terrain is so dry with a lot of rocks, and it will be pretty hard to go fast here.
It's gonna be really long, the race, because the liaison is from here to Bassella is long, and the special tests are really technical too.
The challenge is being front in every special test. Don't crash, it's very important to don't crash.
The endurance at this race isn't going to be as tough as the other ones because you've got a little bit of rest, but it's not going to be easy, let's put it that way.
The weather's going to be hot and also so dusty.
I think technique is gonna be massive. Extreme test is really technical, and you have to be precise there.
We have a cross test, which is really, really, really fast.
For the classic enduro, all you need speed, is flat out.
In the heart of Solsona, Spain, the paddock comes alive as riders prepare for day 1 of the main race.
We are here in BR2 race, day 1, and we have almost 2 hours of liaison, and there we'll meet with enduro test first, after extreme test and fast cross test.
Past crumbling ruins and through dense forest, athletes ride a nearly 2-hour liaison to the first enduro special test. The race against the clock begins. WESS leader Manuel Lettenbichler follows lightning-quick Garcia through the first test, continuing to show he's a great all-around rider, both technical and fast. Next up, they push the envelope through an extreme test. Local favorite Garcia bites it on an obstacle, losing time in a race where every second counts. Johnny Walker shines. Putting up the fastest time, the Hard Enduro Pro leads the day. They move on to the speedy cross test. Garcia bounces back. He's got a 23-second lead over Walker after 3 tests as riders head into the pits. WESS leader Lettenbichler is happy with his result. That's not the case for Graham Jarvis. He has to pull out of the race due to illness. He will get 0 WESS points, costing him 2nd overall. Into lap 2, Garcia continues with the leading run through the enduro. In the extreme test, Johnny Walker once again comes out on top. Then, in the cross test, Nathan Watson bests both of them and overtakes Walker for 2nd. KTM is dominating the day at the BR2 Enduro Solsona, but there's still a super test to go. Not far from the race is a motorcycle mecca for history buffs. Local rider Paul Torres took WESS leader Manuel Lettenbichler and KTM's Michael Volkner on a true trip down memory lane.
Welcome to the museum. It's really close to my home. I will show you over 190 bikes.
This bike is from 1902. I think it's a French bike.
Totally, that's one of the first bikes ever, huh?
Yeah.
You know this bike have 1.7 horsepower.
It also looks like a bicycle, huh?
Yeah, it's like an e-mountain bike, huh? A new generation.
Here we have a Indian, $50,000 American dollars.
Awesome bike. Yeah, it's just because of his white tires. It's the king of the museum, huh?
Yeah.
Okay guys, we arrived for me the best place of the museum, the racing section. Here we have Tony Bow bike.
Wow. Have you rode it ever?
Yeah.
Because you're a really close friend to Tony, right?
Yeah, we are like brothers then.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. He's the legend himself.
Yeah.
Like, I think he won 25 titles now, huh?
26.
26 already.
Okay guys, I have a really good surprise.
Oh, really?
Yeah, then
Cool.
just follow me. Let's go.
Let's go, huh?
Oh, let's go.
Now I know why vintage riding is so sick, huh? That's just awesome.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's too difficult to ride.
It's too difficult, yeah.
Spain loves old school bikes both off and on the track. At the final day one super test, the vintage class rock another retro race. Pros look on like kids in a candy store. Next up, the big names hit the super test. The small group of KTM heavyweights explode off the start. Nathan Watson leads, Johnny Walker, Manuel Lettenbichler, and number 5, Carlos Abo follow. Lettenbichler gets passed by 4th place Tadej Blazusiak. He'll need to increase his speed if he hopes to stay close to the podium. Taking smart, fast lines, Watson breaks away and takes the heat. Joseph Garcia will need to be faster in order to win the day. Full gas into first is Garcia. He's on top for all 4 laps. And comes in with a better time than Watson. But it's not over yet. Keeping with classic enduro rules, riders have 15 minutes to change their tires. 1 second over and they're penalized a full minute. They get their bikes into Parc Fermé for the evening. Day one has been all about complete KTM dominance.
A good day for me. Felt really good with the bike, but still I did some mistakes. I had 2 crashes in the tests, one in the extreme and one in the enduro, but still managed to took the win, so really happy about today. But we know that tomorrow is also a long day.
Here are the results after 1 day of racing. Garcia's in the lead, followed by Watson and Walker. Lettenbichler's in 4th, and Blazusiak is 5th. There's a calm in the paddock on the misty final day of racing, as if the fans already know the outcome, but nothing set in stone.
Day 2, try to do same as yesterday, battle for the victory and push like always.
At the moment I'm second, 40 seconds back to Garcia, so a lot of work to do, but you know, it's a long day again and anything's possible. I just keep on pushing and doing my riding and going as fast as I can, and then let's see what happens.
A picturesque liaison takes athletes from Solsona to a nearby town of Bassella to start the race. Once again, riders have to conquer 6 special tests in 2 laps before the final super test. Right now, leader Joseph Garcia is 40 seconds ahead of teammate Nathan Watson. He tops Watson by 3 seconds in the Enduro. Currently in 4th at BR2, Manuel Lettenbichler has shown he can keep up with the faster riders. He beats Johnny Walker with the 3rd best time. Walker answers back in the extreme test. He leads while Tadej Blazusiak and Manuel Lettenbichler follow. Husqvarna's Alfredo Gomez is trying to keep his team in the race and WESS podium contention. Gomez even comes in ahead of Garcia, who loses time to the hard enduro pros in the extreme test. It doesn't rattle him. He finishes only a second behind Watson in the cross test and has extended his overall BR2 lead at the end of lap 1.
And it's been sometimes a little bit cloudy in the morning, and then the sun comes through and the heat comes out, and you know, the dust just comes up, and it's also bad with the light because it's just so bright and the soil's quite white. It's like quite blinding, so yeah, tricky conditions.
An hour and a half liaison leads the pros back to the enduro test for lap 2. During the second lap, Joseph Garcia continues his Solsona supremacy in the enduro test. We barely heard about Walker at the beginning of the season. Now, his comeback is the talk of the series. He smokes the competition in the extreme test ahead of Lettenbichler and Blazusiak. Blazusiak is currently 5th in BR2, but in the cross test, Spanish Yamaha rider Cristobal Guerrero comes in with a better time. He's become a threat to the Polish pro's BR2 position and valuable WESS points. Watson takes the test ahead of Garcia. Still, Garcia's lead position looks secure. But if he makes one mistake, one hesitation, one fall, he could lose his lead.
It would mean everything to win the WESS title this year. Last year was second, like completely unexpected for me. Now I'm leading nearly at the end.
I was on a bit of a high, you know, winning Erzberg, and then I went and won Hispania. It's riding really well, and then you know, still on form, but this series is very difficult to win every race.
I will try to kick Graham here and be close to Manuel if I cannot kick him. He did a really good job in Hawkstone Park being second, but still 2 races to go.
Yeah, I was pretty happy at Hawkstone, but I didn't really ride as good as I wanted to ride. You know, I did do good. I'm really happy with getting on the podium, and it was like a win for me to get on the podium, but I've still got so much more to give, you know.
I'm sitting in 6th place, trying to be at the top at this race. Will be difficult, but for the championship, I think is the most important race at the moment for me, so I have to stay focused and don't make a lot of mistakes.
My Romaniacs win, this was a really special moment. It's just the hardest race of the season and means everything to win this race.
I think the motivation is now to try to finish on the podium. We were struggling with the setup beginning of the year, with extreme races, so it was a bummer because this is where we're strong at. But we're still in a good position in the championship, so we'll try to make the most out of it.
I want to win, and if you want to win, anything have to be perfect.
I'm still battling to try and get on the podium, so I'll be definitely pushing hard this weekend and through the next 4 weeks before Getz, and I'll be training really hard.
Yeah, I'm super excited to go to Getz, and it's like a home race for me, and I think the atmosphere is great. There are a lot of friends coming out this year, so I'm super excited to go there, and won it last year. Had a good battle with Alfredo last year, so excited having a good result there as well.
The pros are up at the final BR2 Super Test. In the lead, Joseph Garcia is full of confidence.
Yeah, we are almost at the end of day 2. It was a good day for me. We are here with some seconds, so yeah, like I say, always keep focused till the end, and if the flag is going, you are on the race.
Johnny Walker is trying to protect his podium position.
Yeah, I'm close to 30 seconds ahead of Manny now going into this final motocross, and I want to fight for a podium and try and gain time on the other guys.
Tadej Blazusiak needs to beat Spain's Cristobal Guerrero to make it an all KTM top 5.
Yeah, after like 2 days of racing, I'm 0.3 ahead, of Guerrero, so it's really, really close, and yeah, we'll see how this one's gonna go.
Yeah, I want to push hard, to try to finish 5. We will see what happens.
Start, Garcia takes a narrow lead. He's trailed by number 16, Guerrero. Battling for third is number 94, Jaume Betrillo, and number 68, Tasha Sharina. Up front, Garcia widens his lead. He guns it lap after lap. The other KTM pros watch their chance at 1,000 WESS points slip away. Guerrero is behind Garcia, putting up excellent times. Now he's even more of a threat to Tadej Blazusiak. Garcia flawlessly finishes 5 laps and clinches the BR2 win. There's an early celebration for the race winner, but the podium hasn't been decided yet. Now the battle for second is on. The rest of the BR2 frontrunners blast off. Nathan Watson has to stay ahead of Johnny Walker to take second place. Walker starts to close in. Roosting his countryman, sand specialist Watson rides away. He's burning up the track in the lead. Brit Johnny Walker is close behind. He's followed by Sam Winterburn, Manuel Lettenbichler, and Tadej Blazusiak. Blazusiak doesn't have the speed. He's lost 5th place and crucial WESS points. On the final lap, Watson is full out. Walker can't catch him. Watson takes the heat, but can't beat Garcia's overall time. Spain's own Joseph Garcia has taken the title at the first BR2 Enduro Solsona, followed by Nathan Watson, Johnny Walker, and Manuel Lettenbichler.
Now in the last super test, I was pushing also, but not in the limit, because I know that I have some seconds with Nathan, so yeah, really happy to take the win.
Joseph's killed it all weekend. Obviously it's his home race, and a little bit of extra motivation, and I can't take anything away from him. He's rode awesome all weekend, but really, really happy with second. Joseph was the fastest man this weekend, and yeah, let's see what we can do in the last round.
With back-to-back podium finishes at round 6 and 7, Walker's rocketed up the standings.
It feels good, to actually get on the podium, because I struggled the whole way through the year. So going into the final round, I'm a little bit more confident. I've got a good bike set up. Hopefully I can fight for a win or not even a podium.
Taking the WESS title from Manuel Lettenbichler will be a difficult task. He's got a substantial lead and is the returning champion at the final race of the season.
At the moment, focusing is completely on the overall of the WESS, so it would be pretty amazing to repeat this Getz and Rodeo title. But Johnny is doing good, and he can be still there to grab the overall. But I hope we can get it.
Here are the BR2 Enduro Solsona standings. The overall WESS standings have shifted again. Lettenbichler is still in the lead. Walker has now jumped into 2nd place, and Garcia is 3rd. Gomez drops down to 4th, and Graham Jarvis falls to 5th. There's one last chance to win 1,000 series points at round 8. WESS Warriors battle at Germany's Getzen Rodeo, the final race of the season, where we'll crown the ultimate Enduro World Champion. Till then, I'm Troy Mannering saying keep the rubber side down.